Hey you guys, this is Orsi and this is going to be a first impression of the Tempest tarot deck, which I'm using for a while as my weekly reading deck. So I have some experience with it already, but you know, let's start with the box. I don't know if you know this because you might not watched any of the videos where I mentioned that I was very interested in getting a pirate deck or a sea theme deck. I was more so into the pirate theme, and then I randomly saw this deck on someone's channel and I was like, ooh, what is that? And then it turned out to be a mass market deck, and this is what happens when you're, out of the loop for about a year. There's a bunch of decks that will surprise you. So unfortunately, since Book Depository is no longer, I couldn't pre-order it because when I checked it was still pre-order for Europe. It was already out in the US, but ever since all the customs and tariffs and whatever changed because of politics, it's a lot more unpredictable, where at least in Hungary or in the EU, where you can get mass market decks, or because it's not easy for sites to ship. So the one that I'm using currently, because Werder is no longer an option either, is Libristo, but Libristo doesn't have pre-order option, unfortunately, even though I really like that back in Book Depository, because I always felt like, I'm buying myself a present in the future, but I can't do that anymore. So I have to keep in mind to go back and check if a deck becomes available, because there's no option to, get a notification. It became a bit more of a hassle to get a deck than it was like a few years back. And I know, first world problems, just because this is a video about mass market decks in Europe. I mean, a deck that I got in Europe, I thought that I mentioned that, but of course I think okay, I have a Make Playing Cards deck that I can show. This is a bit bigger than a regular deck, but I really like the box. This is not a regular tuck box, which would induce rage in everybody. This has a cutout, so you're not damaging the actual box when you open it. It's much more sturdier than the usual just simple cardboard box, so A+ on the box already. The guidebook is and I don't know, I always try to keep it, I don't know why, in a good condition. The guidebook gives an upright and a reverse meaning. There's also like the planetary association, which I appreciate, and then there's an imagery and symbolism for the card, which is always useful. And I will check one card and we can check the guidebook for it. Of course, the majors are always in most decks are has more information than the rest of the card. But if you look at it, like this is the Tower, and then here's okay, Ace of Cups is shorter, but I don't know, Knight of Wands, it has the same information except for the planetary association, because I think that would be too much for most of the people who use tarot, even though I plan on learning it. Yes, I forgot to say, this is a deck by Maisie Bristol, who is from New York, I guess. No, it was okay, Montana, USA. Okay, with chickens, that's always good. And we have some spreads as well. The Celtic Cross is I think for a deck like this is very much a good thing that they feature that. Useful 3-card spread, so if someone is a newbie, they have a lot of things that they can play around. There's a treasure map spread, which I think it's a good way to, you know, like see where you want to go and what you need to do to be there. And then the Tempest tarot spread. I like the name, okay, because when we were in elementary school, we learned about Shakespeare, and you know, Tempest was one of my favorites from his work, so I was already drawn to the deck because of the name. But let me show you some of the cards. It's already you know, like shuffled, because like I said, I use it for weekly readings, but there's a flip through on my channel as per usual, so you can check that. And this is a make playing cards size normal tarot card. So as you can see, this deck is a bit bigger. There's a border, but there are certain cards like the Devil, which is an octopus, but you know, it's a devil for the people on the sea. There are some that would extend the imagery between the borders, which I always like. So I don't think it's a deck that you should necessarily trim. The backs are cool. It's not reversible, but I don't think, I mean, even if you, it's not completely the same. Where is it? No, it's not. But I think even if you mix it and, you know, you use reversals, I don't think it's gonna bother you. So it's not a bad idea. The imagery are chosen very well for each of the cards. It's a simple deck, it's a minimalist deck, but it's not lazy pip. So, you know, for example, there's an 8 of Swords. That's a very interesting 8 of Swords. The 3 of Wands with a map. You're triangulating where you want to go, you know, like this is the area where I want to focus on. The court cards are more illustrated with usual imagery, but I really like the minor cards, like the 8 of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands. Which one I wanted to show? Like, I really like the 3 of Swords with some blood. It's simple, but if you learn the meaning of the card, like the 6 of Swords, it will give you enough to recognize everything you want to or you need for a reading. And I'm just let's see which one. Like the 5 of Wands, you get that we're bitch fighting feeling. High Priestess is so beautiful. There's Temperance. So I really like the imagery. It's not, like I said, it's not lazy. But let's check the 10 of Pentacles then. Okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna just put it somewhere here. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, the meaning of the upright is ducks in a row, which if you look at it, they are ducks in a row, kind of. But the imagery, the 10 of Pentacles generally represents a time when we feel as though we have everything we could ever want in a material sense: home, money, body, health, etc., etc. So you got the meaning before, you know, they go into the card. This card portrays all these things in 10 little boats on the water. Each boat holds a material element. So if you look at it, and it helps if I show you maybe up closer. There's a house, there's an anchor, there's a couple, there's a sword, there's the, oh god, what is it called? The compass, like a little shape, like fruit, water. I can't really see what this one is because my eyes are not that sharp anymore, but whatever. Yeah, there's a young family. For example, one boat holds a young family, another boat holds an anchor to represent being on land once again. So it's not completely like, oh, you get the house, it means the house, because you know that. But you can look at the card, study the card, and make associations with the content of the tiny boats. So I think it was very well done. I really appreciate the simplicity of it, because I don't know, I think it looks really cool the way it does all the cards. And for example, Justice is the compass. Like, that's such a simple concept, but it has everything you need for a Justice card. The aces are usually the same, the elemental representation in a very like light up background. Like strength is the anchor, so I think it was very well made. I don't have a lot of pairing currently because I'm planning on a video dedicated to my favorite pairs, and I want to definitely include this deck as well. But there's one that I think is a very good pairing. Maybe it's gonna be a very good pairing with all of my decks, but this is the Citadel. I think the art style looks you know, compatible because they are both line art and have some elements that are either colorful or full colored or, you know, on this case there's some foiling on it, but neither of them are really colorful, so the muted, or not muted, the limited color palette makes them match really well as well. Okay, 10 of Cups, the Puppeteer. Okay, the Founder up in reverse. Foundation Community with the Page of Wands. So, yeah. Let's see the star, which I really like. That star is, you know, like the treasure. The Determination and Sacrifice with the Queen. So, they work well together. I used them a few times already, and I think they look nice together as well. But like I said, there's gonna be a longest video about deck pairings, and there I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but I know that I will pick a few newest tarot decks, and then I'm gonna just go through every oracle deck that I think would, or other tarot decks that would fit with this one, with the chosen one, and then there you can see what I would recommend with from what I have in my collection, and hopefully that's gonna be useful. But just as a preview, I think the Citadel and the Tempest, you know, they are in the same realm as well. I mean, the Citadel is on in my head. In my head, the Citadel is on a rock somewhere surrounded by ocean, and the Tempest is ruling the ocean, so, you know, they match. But yeah, this is just my first impression. I'm gonna obviously update you guys when I use this deck for a longer period, probably 6 months or a year, or even more so, depending on how the time will come. But yeah, was just the first impression. Hopefully this is useful. Do let me know if you have the deck or if you're considering buying it. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye!